Welcome back. This is Jeff Byers. This is ANY 150 Module 5, and this is Part 10, and we are now ready to add edge loops to all our low poly objects so we can smooth them. So let's go ahead and go into here. You can see that I've got my high poly, I've got my medium poly, I've got my medium poly on. I made duplicates of everything. I've already started the edge loop process. You guys have done this 2 times before, so you should know how to do it. If you need to add edge loops, make sure you add edge loops to support the corners inside and out. Okay. A couple things just so you know. If you make a mistake and you want to slide an edge, just kind of go through this real quick. You can hold the shift key down, right mouse button, and go into slide edge tool, and your middle mouse button, you can move that back and forth holding down the middle mouse button, and you can do that around the whole entire thing. Okay, hit the G key to get it back into slide mode. Okay, alright. So if it doesn't work, you can always try to get it into slide mode again, and then we can drag it back and forth. Okay, with that said, again, you all know how to add edge loops, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started. So just kind of give you an idea how I work. You add edge loops to every inside and outside edge. Okay, that's what you need to support. So I'm not going to explain everything as I start working. I've already got this piece completely finished. I hit the 3 key. The whole idea is when you hit the 3 key that it supports the corners, keeps everything nice and sharp. Okay. Alright, and I've got the top piece finished as well. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and do the bottom piece. And what I'm going to do is, I won't talk much when I'm doing this. I'm just going to go ahead and go right after it. And you guys can pause the video anytime you want. I'm going to explain what I'm doing at first, and then I'm going to really rock it into just getting it done. Okay, so it shouldn't take you long. You can always pause it and then follow me that way. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the shift key, right click over this, and go to edge loop. And this is the last time I'm going to say that, because that's just going to slow me down every time I say that. Plus, you don't want to hear me say that 1,200 times during the video. So insert Edgeloop Tool. Alright, so we'll get right after it. Again, I just start on a corner. That's probably the best place to start. And you can even get a little closer, rotate around. You can always hit the F key too to focus and kind of get a little bit closer. And I'm going to do an edge loop here and edge loop here. You can see how I'm just kind of following that part of it. Don't worry about these inconsistencies right here. That's okay. It's going to be fine. I'm going to add an edge loop right here to support this corner, this one right here. And don't worry how ugly it's going to get. It's okay. So every inside and outside corner, right? Okay, so that means this is an inside corner, so we got to get that too. Okay. Every inside and outside corner is important. Okay. I'm going to get out of the tool. Okay, hit the Q key. I'm going to click on an edge, and I'm going to hit the F key. What that does is just kind of lets your camera focus around that particular object. Because what happens is that when you're moving in and out and around this object, your camera gets lost a little bit. So you got to kind of get into edge mode and just select something, and then hit the F key and then zoom back out again. And that'll allow you to kind of rotate around. Now if you notice that it kind of falls apart when I do that, you can see how it goes into the object. That's an easy way to fix that. I'll show you how to do that real quick. View, Camera Attribute Editor. And sometimes it doesn't go in right away, so I'm going to do it again. View, Camera Attribute Editor. This time it goes in. And you can see that we've got near clip plane. That's this when I zoom in. So watch what happens when I type in a 0 right next to the decimal point. I'm going to hit 0 on there and hit enter. It goes away. Now you can get closer. Okay? So if you find that if you can't get too close and it starts falling apart, that's what you can do. Alright, so I'm going to get out of that again and go ahead and select an object. Control A. And let's go back into object mode. And object mode up here. And again, I'm going to start the edge loop process. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get that corner, and try to be consistent if you can throughout. Okay, do the best you can to be consistent. Don't worry about what's happening here. Okay, support the inside and the outside edges of all the corners. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Inside and outside edges. There we go. Pretty simple, just tedious work. It's tedious work because you can't miss anything, and if you miss something, you'll know it. It'll get soft, and it won't smooth right. Everything's cutting just fine. There we go. Excellent. On that side, and everything looks good on here. I'm going to go underneath. That looks good. Alright, so go to the other side. I think the only thing that I've got to do is, I don't know if everything transposed over. It looks like it did. Okay. So with that piece, I think that piece is finished. Let me hit the Q key and go to selection mode, and let me do a control 1. Isolate that and get on this side so I can see it a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, there's one thing missing. I knew there was. And it's on this side over here. There we go. That's what's missing. Just that piece right there. Alright, so hit the Q key, and then I want you to go to object mode, and then hit the 3 key, and just check it out, kind of rotate around it, and that looks good. And that looks good too. So I don't see, what I'm looking for are really soft edges or loops right here, and everything is nice and sharp. Okay. Alright, that looks great. I'm also looking for creases and dents and spacings and gaps and that kind of thing. Now, if you, again, what I would suggest that you guys do before you go into adding edge loops to everything, click on vertex and just make sure you don't have any rogue vertices anywhere. That's really important. Now, if you're confident and you would like to skip ahead, you don't even want to watch this video, and you just want to go after adding edge loops, go for it. I'm okay with that. But I'm going to go ahead and go through everything except for I've already done this one like I explained. Okay. So I'm not going to do that again. And these are super simple. I didn't have any issues with those, adding edge loops. And if you want me to get close to it, it's basically the same exact thing I've been talking about. Just make sure you do the edge loops on the outside and inside of every corner. Okay? Alright, perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to go after it now. Control 1. And I usually just work. I'm going to hit the F key. I usually just work in perspective mode at this point. And I don't have to get really, really close to the object. Okay. I usually just start in a corner and work my way out. And you'll get stuff like this where it's kind of wacky. Okay. So I just take that time to go in there, double click on the edge, and make sure I slide that edge over so it fits. Everything else is consistent throughout. I might even turn this upside down here. It makes it a little easier for me. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in to object mode. Okay, and just kind of watch for these corners right here. There we go. Alright. Inside, outside edges. Keep telling me that myself that. And once in a while, I'll even miss one. And that's okay, because I always catch it when I hit the 3 key, you know. Alright, so let's go ahead and go in here. Get these guys. Again, try to be consistent throughout. That means the distance between these edge loops is really important. This is where we need to have some elevator music going on in the background. When I'm working, it's one of those things. It's different when you're teaching and you're trying to remember, hey, it's a lot easier just to be quiet and model. Sometimes I just like that, the quietness of it. But unfortunately, when you're teaching, you gotta say something, otherwise it's too quiet. Alright, so I think that's good. I mean, I don't think there's anything else. Maybe I missed something here, but I think I got everything. The only way to know for sure is to check it. Okay, hit the Q key and object mode, select it, and hit the 3 key and just double check it. And that looks fantastic. I like it. Looks really good. Alright, moving on to the next one. Hit the 1 key, control 1, go upside down. We're upside down here. There we go. And just move on to the next object. This one looks like it'd be more difficult, but I don't think it's going to be. I'm not really paying attention where those are going. I'll find out quick enough. Just start with a corner and work my way out. Or in, or whatever you want to do. Okay. That's kind of unexpected right here. I thought maybe it would go across. We'll see what happens there. That's a little weird. I'll keep an eye on that one. Inside, outside pieces here. Looks like we need to have an inside piece. Whoops. Right here. Here we go. Alright, just keep adding edge loops. Do some inside edge loops here. Again, you can see that those are things we forget. Those inside edge loops and these outside edge loops, sometimes you forget them. You'll know it. You'll know it if you miss it, because it'll get really soft, right? Smooth instead of being rigid. And we got to watch. This one's probably the most difficult one, I think. Just got to remember all the edge loops you need to add to this structure to make it work. Okay. Okay, that looks good so far. All right. And again, it's okay if you add too many edge loops. It's not going to hurt anything if you go overboard accidentally. So I don't think that's an issue. I think it's more of an issue if you forget to add edge loops that really need it. Because adding another edge loop here is more than I need, but it's not going to hurt anything. Okay. Alright, we're going to continue on down to the bottom. I just kind of work my way down. Right. We got some weirdness right here. I think I extruded down too far, or I should have had a little edge right here. So I'm probably going to have to get rid of some of this stuff because they're fighting. There's some faces fighting each other. So I don't like that. Even though the floor I think is going to cover it. Still don't like that. Right, do I have everything done? Let's take a look. The side looks like it's not completely finished. Up in here. Okay. Everything okay over here. Up in here needs to be taken care of. Anything else? Let's see here. Outside edge here needs to be taken care of. Inside edge needs to be taken care of. Okay, outside edge. There we go. Just keep looking for edge loops that need to be there. Most of the time, if you do one side, the other side, it kind of goes all the way around. That's the beauty of edge loops. Okay. Moment of truth. Q. Select. 3 key. Let's take a look. That looks great. I like the inside pieces here. You might want to turn off the ambient occlusion to be able to see in there. That's kind of getting in the way now, so let me take the renderer and go into the option box. And screen space, ambient occlusion, turn that off. And that is kind of getting in the way just for now. I'm going to close that. And look at everything else. Nice tight edges. Okay. Alright, let me hit the 1 key. It looks like it's kind of got a smooth thing going on here with this. I don't like that because I like the harsh edges. All of a sudden I have this. You may like it and you can keep it that way, that's fine. But that's a part that I need to fix. So I'm going to add an edge loop there just to tighten that area up there and be consistent. Again, distance, as far as distance between the two. And that's all it takes to fix that. Q key, selection, 3 key, and there it is. It's fixed, just like that. Look around it. That looks fantastic. I love it. It looks nice. Great hard surface modeling. I don't know if I'm crazy about this, but that's going to be hidden. I don't like that tight edge right there. That's kind of weird. But the ceiling pieces will take care of that. And the bottom piece. Again, I could fret over that. I'll come back to that. Because if I go in here and start deleting stuff, I suppose what we could do, this could work, I think, maybe, is just to move that up a little bit. Those faces, right? Let's see if we can do that. See if that would work. Ooh. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Click on that face, and this face. What would happen if we moved it down or moved it up? Okay, that's the exact opposite. Okay, so let me move it down, and that fixes it. Okay, again, I don't want to delete it. Right, so that just fixes it fighting itself when you texture it. I'll just move that down. You'll never see it because the floor will be covering that, the floor panel. Okay, so that's kind of a fix that we need to do. So let's go ahead and do this one too as well. Just moved it down, just so they're not, and it can be just enough so it stops. Then barely see it. There you go, perfect. All right, now that's awesome. All right, so Control 1 again. I think this is the hardest one. Of course, we get into some intricate parts like that, but these should be pretty easy. Alright, so top's done. Alright, so Control 1, F key. Alright, edge loop, corner, corner, corner. Zoom in a little bit. Corner, corner. Let's get these corners. Whoops. You make a mistake, just Control Z back. Wow, this one's close together, so I gotta get around here. That one's gonna be hard. I'm gonna Control Z because I don't need one there. Here we go. Okay. And you can move these around too, meaning that if you click on it, you can hold the mouse button down. You can move it. That's kind of nice too. And let's go in here to this one. Looks like it went all the way around, so I don't have to do that again. That's kind of nice. And we'll do one down here. And I think that's good. Alright, so now I'm going to go around and just see what we missed over here. And it's the end piece right here. Here we go. So again, that didn't take too long. The floor piece was pretty easy. Hit the Q key. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit the 3 key. And look at it. If the grid is getting in your way, oh, I forgot something. If the grid's getting in your way, go to Show and then turn off the grid if you want to. Ah, I missed something. Look at that. This is what happens when you don't get the edge loops. Okay, so let's go hit the 1 key. And so we got one part of it. Let's go back into selection mode and add these edge loops. One in there, one right there, one right there, one on top. So I think we got it. But one inside. There we go. Okay. And same thing on this one. Okay, just double checking everything. One over here too as well. There we go. Oh, why did we put grids in this thing? Now we got all this work to do. Oh man. Oh well. That's part of it. And there we go. I think that's good. Okay. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got them all. Hit the Q key, go back into object mode, and hit the 3 key. There we go. Alright, so double check everything. Yeah, that looks good. That's nice. Got some nice detail right there. Looks great. Cool. That'll bake real nice. Now, I'm not too crazy about this over here. I see some parts that look like it's softening up too much right here. So I think it's because I missed a couple. So let's add some more edge loops right here and here. Okay. Let's make sure I got everything. Okay. Yep, I missed those. Okay. Thought they looked kind of weird. Okay, that looks good. Q key, right click it, hit the 3 key. Okay, so does anything look soft to you? Let me see here. The only thing I don't like is I think I went too far on this one, so again, my prerogative to move that up a little tighter. That will look a little nicer, I think. Anything else? I'm gonna hit the 3 key. That Windows key is way too close to the Alt. I keep hitting it by mistake, so my apologies on that. Alright, so there we go. 3 key. Alright. Cool. That looks good. That one is good. Alright, let's get back to control 1. I would, we got 2 full pieces completed, so what that means is that if I select them in object mode, okay, hit the 1 key and then hit the 3 key, they should all smooth out. And just kind of get a good look at them. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. And that's what your high poly model is going to look like. And the light's going to reflect off of those nice, beautiful edges. Hard surface modeling. Okay. That looks great. That's the reason why you do the high poly models. They look really good. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back out. Just look at your nice work. Hit the 1 key again, get them back where we need to. And just continue doing this. Now I'm already going up on 30 minutes, so I'm gonna stop here. And then we'll move on to the next ones.